thoughts on that win?
Yeah, just really pleased with the efforts of the boys. Stronger effort over the longer period of the game, and against good opposition, we need to be able to maintain that for 4 quarters. And in our losses this year, we've just had lapses, and today the boys really fought to make sure those lapses weren't going to raise their head.
And the fact that you lost Embley and Kerr before the bounce, does that make it even more special?
Well, it's a credit that the players just got on with the business. The way that Gaff prepared, the way that Shepherd prepared, even Marston, expecting to be the sub and having to come on and play longer ground time. So those players just got on with the job, and they're only young players, so great for their great maturity that they showed. And the rest of the team just not phased once. It was only just before we ran out when they realised Kerr wasn't playing. Just doesn't matter. We've got our roles to play.
John, can you just paint a bit of a picture from your vantage point of all the drama and sort of the order things happened sort of before the match?
Well, basically, Embley wasn't confident that that he could get through a game. His hamstring, he just felt it. He has had a tight hamstring for a couple of weeks, but he's got through, and that just flared up. And Kerr was obviously after that. Kerr was after the on-ground warm-up and must have felt it on the ground, and saw the physios, and we tried to test him in the rooms, and he thought he might have been able to play, but he could feel it when he tried to sprint, and subsequently after he cooled down, he knew it was the right decision. He wouldn't have been able to get through.
That's groin, was it?
Adductor, yeah.
One of your old mates, Carl Langdon, reckoned that Embers had a torn hamstring, but that doesn't sound like it's quite a torn hamstring.
No, he's had it for 2 weeks, as in a tight hamstring, and the boys have been working on it. He got through last week, and we're fully expecting him to get through this week. So hopefully he hasn't played today, and that will now resolve itself.
Was that why you sort of kept Shepherd back yesterday, just in case there was that issue with the...
Yeah, once you got... well, not really. Embley, we were confident really that he would get through, but we just wanted to make sure we did have some coverage either way.
So Kerr and Embley, do you expect them to get up for next week?
It's hard for me to call. I'd expect Embley because we're hopeful that he hasn't actually torn it. So, and it was just a flare-up of the tightness he's had. Kerr, I couldn't comment on at the moment, but it's not a massive strain. Obviously, he still felt at the time he may have been able to play with the pain, but hopefully that means it's only very, very minor and he can get up.
So just before running out then, John, you've got 2 changes to tell the players about. Did you have to try and sort of remain calm to not spread panic sort of through the team right before that?
Yeah, well, there's too much to do to panicking. Basically, it's just communicate to the players concerned that Shuey's role changed a little bit, Maston's role changed a lot, Gaff's role obviously changed a lot, and Adam Selwood just communicating to the guys that things were going to be a little bit different. But credit to Scott Burns, they were all over different roles they had to play, even going into the game, and. Gaffy sat in with all the meetings and knew all the possibilities. It was just making sure he was clear when he went on. So that was probably the main person it was going to affect was Burnsy, and he was as composed as anything and confident that the players knew what they had to do, which helped me.
And so Gaff came with all his gear and all that just in case. So he was...
No, well, their gear's always here, and they're always told, every emergency is always told, you don't have a pie until the game starts. Not that they have a pie anyway.
Maston's first hit out. How did you see that, John?
Yeah, he showed some glimpses of some good stuff, so it's early to bring him straight back in. We were expecting just to play him as a sub this week and then reassess where we go from there. So he played a lot longer ground time than what we'd planned this week, but it was a good hit out. He deserved his game today on his form, even though it only came about with a late injury, but his form last week warranted saying I'm ready to play.
Did you get a sense coming in there seemed a belief around the group that they could really win Derby this time?
Yeah, and I think I've made the comment, it's not about the Derby, it's about where we want to get to as a team, and we're working hard to improve enough to get to where we want to get to. And we've taken some steps, but there's a lot of steps for us still to take to get things where we want them. And the Derby was just another step in the way. It's along the road, and there was no extra confidence or extra belief that we were ready to win a Derby. It was let's play with the intensity we know we're now showing.
Can the improvement be summed up in as simply as you've even lifted your intensity around the ground, plus the fact you've got better skills going forward?
There's probably another 40 things. Player availability, all those sort of things. They have an impact. Experience in the group that's building, understanding each other. You reel them off. There's things, but as I said, that we're not there yet. We're not. We've still got a long way to go to get the maturity and experience and the talent and the class and composure that we want to get to. And the group at the moment are showing that they've got it within them if they are prepared to keep knuckling down doing the work.
Even if there is a miss kick going forward, you seem to have the tall timber there ready to sort of take the contested marks and control the air, don't you, though?
Yeah, those boys are working extremely hard. Lynch and Kennedy were big threats all day today. Cox and Nat Nui are starting to look bigger threats with the more ground time up forward. So Darling he's been outstanding with his aerial stuff. So they're always a threat.
So to the fans that might be thinking ahead to finals and what the group can achieve, what would your message be to them? Just enjoy what the boys are showing right at the moment. We want to get better, and the big picture for us is developing this side to be the absolute best it can be, and it's going to take a while longer, but I think the fans are enjoying what the players are showing them at the moment.
You spoke about Matt Prittis a few weeks ago, and basically, is this Cross Glendenning medal pretty much just a little bit of reward for the just sheer hard work he puts in every single week? Yeah,
I think it's a great reward for what he does. A little bit, he doesn't look for the individual acknowledgement. He plays his role for the team, but through the last couple of years, tough through the midfield with very young players in there with him. It's been real tough, but I think he's really enjoying having Curry back out there. He's really enjoying a mature Scotty Selwood and what Luke Shuey brings going through there, and even Lecker sneaking in there at times. So I think it'd be fair to say that Pritters is enjoying his footy as much as ever, but not necessarily working any harder. Always works maximum capacity, but enjoying it a lot more.
Starting Nick in the centre square job, was that a move to try and unbalance Fremantle a little bit?
Not really, no, other than Nick's a good ruckman, and with a big leap we thought he could impact early, especially early, against Sandylands in the middle, and I think he did that pretty well.
You said that this was another game, it being a derby, didn't come into it, you were just out for the win. But derby's mean a lot to your club's fans.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you hopeful this might be a turning point in what's been a bad run in recent times for the derbies?
No, it's more about what the first 8 rounds of this year have shown where we're at. I know for our fans, derby wins do count for a lot, but for us, we want to win enough games to become a real top-line side over the next year or so, and 2 derby wins a year is not enough. So we're going to have a bigger picture, bigger focus on where we've got to get to, and that's absolutely where we're at. So we're on a winning streak in terms of derbies, 1 straight, but we're looking forward to the Bulldogs next week now.
So you're hopeful this win is more a starting point?
Not this win, round 1. Round 1 was as much a starting point for where we want to get to with what the players showed in that game, with obviously losing Marston and Lacroix and Nat Nui didn't play. The boys showed when we don't have our best players out there, we're all going to maintain the workload. So this win is just a credit to the players for building up for what they've shown, even against Hawthorn and Sydney and Essendon last week. They've shown that they played better today than they did in those games for 4 quarters.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries.